Bill, this is your video of your first lesson. Um, we went over everything I'm going to show you in the video. This is just a way of recording it for future reference. The setup we talked about um, is okay. We can improve it a bit. Looks like, you know, we can get you more bent over the ball a bit, and we like to work a little bit on your grip, getting your um, on your right hand, getting kind of the index finger and the thumb more in a pincher um, setup. But we'll roll this thing and then we'll do a comparison to um, Adam Scott. So in here, as we went over, much too inside, and right now the club is shut, and you've done a nice job opening it, but it's inside. Now that's an extra move. See, you want to keep the shaft of the club, the head of the club, and the butt of the club along one of these yellow lines, or along a line parallel to one of the yellow lines. So you break the plane here, and you have to make an adjustment, and you put it right on plane there, which is a good move. Now you do kind of manipulate, because the direction is going here up, and typically what happens is the head of the club will be flying over across the line. You've done a nice job of keeping it kind of laid off here. That's an excellent position. So, but it's just taking a little bit of work to get to that position. Now from here, see that coming down just too steep. And what happens is you throw the club outside your hands here. So this is going to be the characteristic pull, and then what happens is you're pulling it, so your body says, well, I better do something. I don't want to close the club face, or I don't want to leave it open. So what you do is hold on to it, and you end up cutting it. So you end up with a kind of a limp little fade there, and you exit pretty much on plane. So that's pretty good there. Now coming through here, the one thing we also have to work on, so the transition is what we need to work on. First of all, the takeaway, transition, and then we got to keep your butt against the back wall. See how that comes away? See how you're standing straight up, nearly straight up, and the spine angle you had right now, that's, we can increase that spine angle a bit, but see this spine angle, and then watch what happens when you come into hit. You kind of stand up. You have to stand up because your butt is coming away from the wall like 4 inches. So let's see what this looks like in comparison to Adam Scott. So see how he's more bent over, his butt's out a bit. He's got probably a spine angle of 40 degrees. Yours looks something like um, I don't know, 20 degrees, something like that. So we can get you a little more bent over the ball. And when you're bent over the ball, the hands become lower, and this angle is, see how his angle of his arms and his club are more severe. Uh, that's a good thing, because you're presetting the club. Okay, so you're taking away here, and what we do to fix this is we mimic the poses. So see the club head is right here. See, it's right here. That's where his club head is. Okay, so you just get in the mirror and mimic that. See the shaft of the lines along his toe line. The club, head of the club overlaps his hands from behind. Then the next position, see, he never gets off plane. Next position is here. So you get close to that. but you have to work hard to get there. See how his shoulders have turned quite a bit? So you just mimic that pose. The next thing to mimic is, that's a pretty good spot. You can see that your left arm is a little broken down. See, his isn't. Yours is a little higher, but you can live with that. It just means you're a two-plane swinger, and he's more of a one-plane. Actually, he's a two-plane. You're the higher hands, but that's not significant. However, we probably do want to work that arm down a bit, get a little more like Adam Scott. But all in all, that's a pretty good position at the top. And when you come down, see how his club is always behind his hands? Even to there. See how your club, this is the death move. Club is outside your hands. See that? That's what's causing all the problems. And then at impact, okay, so we want to mimic, change the left picture to the right picture. See how his hips have started to clear? And at impact, he's got the double cheek thing going. He's got the double cheek thing going, and he's still got the butt against the back wall. He still has that nice spine angle. You've kind of lost it. And he chases it with see the club? He's chasing the ball. You're kind of, because you got the inside path, the club is going inside you. Got good shoulder tilt there. And that leg has kicked in like his, it's just a little late. So if your lower body looked like this at impact, keep drawing this, like that at impact, he had something. And exit that way. So let's get the other angle. See how your hands are creeping towards the target here? They should be off your inseam. That's part of the problem that you have with jerking it back inside on the takeaway. So this is a pretty good move here. You got the shoulders turning. Lower body hasn't started moving. Your shoulders hardly moved at all. So you get to here and realize that you need to get your hands higher. So what happens is you kind of manufacture it with breaking down here. So you lose your width. See, that's your left arm. See how his left leg is kicking it a bit. Good width. You have pretty good width there, and then you kind of lose it into the top, whereas he doesn't. We can't get there, but we can get here. See the width he's got? Left leg's kicked in, right hip has gone back. And when you come down, see how you're kind of lifting? And then this action is pretty good with the hands. lower body hasn't cleared yet. So you got the flexibility. You see that left? I mean, that kicks in. Now watch when his goes. As a matter of fact, we'll do this. This is the top of his swing. See, we talked about this in the lesson. See how this is pretty much straight up and down? And this is too. See how his isn't? See his back lean? This is what, oops. This is what we're talking about. The pros lean, it's about 15 degrees upper back, and the right leg leans towards the target about 8 degrees. You've got 0 and 0. So this is, you can see, is much more powerful position. Now watch his left leg as he comes down. Hands are even with his chest. So you're casting too. Your leg hasn't moved. Still hasn't moved. So it gets to impact, and your leg maybe has moved a half an inch. He gets to impact. It's moved about a foot. Now his stance is a little bit bigger. He's 6'2", so we don't want your right leg moving a foot, but maybe 10 inches. See how his hip's cleared out? And now here's the advantage of his left hip is cleared. He gets to this spot where you can't get there. So you're losing width on the follow through post impact and through here on the takeaway. So see the difference there? But you know, don't get me wrong, there are more things right with a swing than are wrong. You just have a couple little things you need to refine.